I tried ringing him and he didn't pick up, so I left it a day or two. So his dad booted the front door up and went up there, and he was just there. Took his own life. It's somewhat what you don't forget. I mean, it's one of them things that always plays in your head. And it's something like, it's like that one time, like if I just went out with him, I could have stopped him.
My journey with Leeds Mind started when we as a family lost my dad to suicide in April of 2022. This was a very hard time for all of us, especially as a family, as we didn't know how to communicate how we felt about losing dad and the right way to go about it. We couldn't really express to each other how we were feeling, and as this is a different type of grief, the big question of why did you do this was very prevalent in our situation.
When I was 4, my dad died by suicide, and obviously at the time, because I was so young, it was like hard to process, and as I got older I found that I was kind of processing a lot more, and when I was about 20, I was finding it really hard. It was coming up a lot for me, and I was just finding the grief quite overwhelming. So I went to my GPs, and then they referred me to someone else who then found the service and helped me fill out the referral.
Camps couldn't do anything for us, so obviously they said he's a local, like in Leeds Mind is a thing, and I actually got referred to it, and it's the best thing whatever helps. I wasn't sleeping, they helped me to sleep, they helped me go through everything. You understand, it actually helped, funny enough, with my PTSD, to understand it. What surprised me, because no other counsellor did.
I accessed some peer support work, so one of the workers at Mind, I had one-to-one sessions with him, and I had 6 sessions, and we just explored whatever came up for me. I found it really helpful because it's a peer support service, so the person that you're talking with has experienced suicide. Well, it might be a different way to how you've experienced it, but have lived experience of it, so you can kind of talk about your thoughts that you might feel a bit guilty about or angry about, that you can't always share with people who haven't experienced it, because then they don't understand what you're talking about.
I worked with Leeds Mind Suicide Bereavement after my dad took his own life. My mum was always there for me, but I still felt alone and trapped in my own mind. I felt more relaxed knowing I had a space where I could be open with my mum and sister without struggling to bring my dad's loss up. Leeds Mind is a safe place that has really helped me throughout my experience.
Leeds Mind were absolutely incredible with helping my mum and me and my siblings to be able to kind of navigate through the grief in a really, really healthy way.
I'd say that I wish I hadn't waited so long to access the service. I think maybe because part of it wasn't around when I was younger, but I wish I'd accessed it earlier, because I found it really, really helpful, and it helps me process a lot of things that I hadn't talked about or thought about or felt guilty talking about for a very long time. So I'd really recommend them to access the service.
She made me feel like a human again, and not like I was an outsider, like I was in school. She brought me back to reality, she brought me back to being a human. If you met me a year ago, it would have been the same person. I wouldn't have come to this. I would have been locked in the bedroom, hiding away. So it's a massive help. Like, it still hurts every day, but that's where your family and friends are. They're not as big a problem as it was when it first happened.
I think the people that work there are absolutely incredible, and I think what they do is so important, specifically for people who have been bereaved by suicide. I think the family work they do, I think the young people work that they do is massively important, and it absolutely helps with that grieving process.